Hey everyone, welcome back. Blades of God here from Hammer Bros Gaming, and today I'm coming at you with part 3 of our guide to the epic Tier 3 engineer achievement in the original Dead Space. Now this achievement tasks you with completing the entire game on the highest difficulty, but with no other real restrictions. If you've watched the first two chapters, the first two videos in this series, you'll know that I'm not going to be covering basic functions or gameplay mechanics. So this is going to be basically tips and tricks and how to prepare for certain fights and battles. As you can see, the gameplay is sped up. I'm going to be playing what I call the in-between gameplay, so traveling, shops, all that stuff, at 3 times normal speed, and then when we get to an encounter, I will slow it down to regular speed. So with that being said, let's get into the guide itself. As you saw, we started out the level going into a sort of atrium area, a main hub that we're going to be visiting several times. After you complete that, go through the door on the right next to the shop. Head down the ramp, be careful of that first necromorph that we took out. Head down into that other room to get a schematic. Then double back on yourself through the broken door where the dead necromorph was. You'll find a workbench that you can upgrade your equipment at. And as you saw before I went to the workbench, there was some ammo sitting on a shelf just kind of out in the middle of nowhere. So here I had quite a few nodes that I could use, and I upgraded my rig for more HP and decided to check and see what else I had for options. I'm using the pulse rifle and the plasma cutter as my only 2 weapons. Also, as a rule, I always keep 1 power node on me at all times. This is because we're going to be coming across rooms that require power nodes to enter. I call these either safe or supply rooms, and they're usually chock full of goodies. So anyway, after you're done with your upgrades, head through the door straight ahead. You're going to advance into this room that kind of doubles back on itself. There's a little side room in the back that has a small med kit. As you come to these 2 chairs, these overview chairs, be careful because a necromorph does drop down out of the ceiling at you. Keep advancing. You're going to see on the right, directly behind where I'm looking now, that there's a tram that you have to pull over using your kinesis. But I head up here first and activate the pumping station pump. And that is actually one of your objectives, so your objective indicator will lead you to that point. Grab the cart or the tram, pull it over to the dock so you can get on board. But don't head down there right away. I actually continue to go up the ramp just to get these enemies out of the way. There's a necromorph, and you can see some movement right around his feet. There's actually a flipper swarm up there. So that's one of the reasons that I love the pulse rifle, is its high rate of fire means that it can deal with a lot of enemies very quickly. So I advance slowly just until I can see the flippers and just slowly and carefully pick them off. I know there wasn't just 3, so I'm waiting to make sure that all the movement has stopped, because those things will drain your health very, very quickly if you're not careful. Once all the enemies are disposed of, pick up anything that necromorph may have dropped, and then continue up these stairs. There's a few supplies. And as you can see, there's the room that we started out the map in. Come in here, and you're going to see a reanimator or an infector unit. And if you saw at the very beginning of the video, the control room that is to the left of me had a body sitting in a chair, and I dismembered him right at the beginning. And that is because if you don't, that reanimator will actually turn him into a necromorph, and that's just one more enemy we would have to fight. Anyway, so we're going to double back on ourselves and jump on the tram car. This part up here can be a little tricky because you don't have a lot of room to maneuver, but you have a supply of explosive crates that you can grab with kinesis. As you saw when I jumped on the tram, I checked my ammo and health inventory, so I was in pretty good shape. So instead, I'm just going to start picking off the legs of these necromorphs and just drop them all one at a time to slow them down. If you want, over my left shoulder there, you can see a red barrel that you could use as an explosive projectile to really clear out the room. I lucked out a little bit as I was reloading. This more powerful necromorph, or the badass necromorphs as I call them, he kind of got hung up and glitched a little bit, so I was able to reload and shoot at him while he was just running in place. Be careful, because some of these necromorphs will decide to go possum on you. And as you can see, 2 of them did there, but 1 shot anywhere on the body will get their attention and get them moving again. So once this is cleared out, there's 4 enemies here that you need to take out. Come up and grab any of the supplies that they may have dropped, whether it's credits or ammo, anything like that. On the right hand side, there is a supply box that you can crush and find something in there. I happen to get credits. Now, as you move up, you're going to see that, again, this room feels like it doubles back on itself, but it's actually just kind of a nook off to the left. There is a path that circles all the way around, but make sure that you basically go wherever you can in that platform to search for supplies. That necromorph that I just killed will jump into the vent if you don't kill him, but he pops up later on, so might as well just take him out while we can. I apologize for it being a little dark in here. Sometimes the lighting is not great while you're playing this game, but after you activate the second pumping station lever, you're going to backtrack and end up encountering a few lurkers. I thought that there was 2 of them in the first encounter, but apparently there was only 1. I took him out after he did the pounce attack. Checking my ammo and medkits, seeing I have plenty, I used a couple of small medkits to heal myself up. Then I slowly advance because I know that there's more lurkers coming. I backpedal to give myself plenty of room and let them come to me. If you see the lurkers are charging you and trying to get in close for that lunge attack, go ahead and shoot them once in the face, and that'll usually stop them and stun them enough to get them to extend their tentacles. I was getting really nervous because I thought they were going to do the lunge attack, so I backed up around the corner and hoped to bottleneck them around this corner. Apparently I'd done enough damage to that lurker to kill him with 1 more shot, and as you can see I'm being very cautious because I can hear the necromorph. I can hear the lurker, but I couldn't see him. And this little bugger decides to just charge me. He tried to do a lunge attack there, but I was able to dodge out of the way. It was a slow dodge, but it worked. And I thought he died, but apparently he hadn't. He got back up and kept moving. So 1 more shot, put that lurker down, and that is the end of the lurkers in this area. We're going to backtrack all the way back to the tram and ride the tram back across the chasm to where we came from. Once we get here, we are going to go up the ramp the way that we had gone towards that main hub, and all the enemies should be cleared out of here, so we're going to head right back in, go to the store, drop off whatever you need to drop off or sell for supplies. If you have enough credits, you could buy yourself some more power nodes or ammo, whatever you need. Just get yourself situated and clear up some space in your inventory. Next, we're going to head over to the right from the store to this little nook where there's an elevator. Ride the elevator up, and we're going to continue to advance the story. Check these lockers for audio logs and plenty of supplies in the way of ammo and credits. Make sure you check underneath that set of chairs, as there is usually a line rack there that I end up selling because I'm not using a line gun. But I hit the workbench because I have 3 power nodes total in my inventory, meaning I can do 2 upgrades. I'm sort of debating on what to do here because I know that I have a spacewalk coming up in Chapter 4 and I don't want to run out of air or have to rush. So I decide, screw it, we're going to go with air. And those 2 nodes of air should be enough to get you through the game without needing to upgrade anymore. Once you are happy and satisfied with your upgrades, head into this room and get ready for another locked-in battle. Walk up to the holo panel, activate it, lights go down, and everything just starts to shake. So, in this room, the first time you play through this, it kind of feels really intense, but it's pretty straightforward. You see the necromorphs through the barred window straight ahead that are going to jump up into the vents. The first one is going to come through that vent on the left. The second one is going to drop from the ceiling on the right, and then you're going to have a pouncer come in from the left side through that vent again. So, from where you're standing, you can take out pretty much all of your enemies without needing to worry. But I get antsy because even though I've played this game a bunch of times, I still don't like standing in one place while I know enemies are coming. So as you see, there's the first necromorph. He came out through that vent on the left-hand side. Take out his legs, take out his arms, just do what you got to do to dispatch him. Now, I back up and you can see the dust coming from the ceiling where the second necromorph comes in. Again, if you're quick, you're not going to get surrounded, you're not going to get overwhelmed. But if you don't know where to look, it's very easy to have the 3 enemies pile into this room and really, really get you in a corner. Now this this pouncer, I thought was going to give me trouble, but a few shots from the pulse rifle while he was on the wall, and he just collapsed. I actually was a little suspicious, thinking that it was a trap, but the lights came back up saying that the area was clear, and I was good to go. So I guess if they're on the wall, they may take more damage than if they're on the floor. So try and hit their arms while they're climbing on the walls to maximize your damage. There's one more locker that you can check after this area. Now we're going to go through the door and hang a left instead of a right. The game wants you to go right. We're going to go left because there's credits and a power node down there, and we like that. Give them all to us. We'll take whatever we can get. Keep advancing down this path. You're going to see some goodies here and a hole in the wall, and all the way down to this door, which is going to bring us into a vacuum 0G area. All right. Once you're in this area, check the room for supplies. There is a couple of supply boxes and one wall-mounted supply locker. Once you get down to the floor, you're going to get 2 pouncers to spawn. And there are, again, plenty of floating explosive barrels around. I like to grab these and use them to save a little bit of ammo and a little bit of hassle as they're one-shot kills. As you can see, I grabbed one, took out one of the pouncers. Now I'm desperately trying to grab another barrel. It's not working. So I revert to the old gun. I don't know why that lurker didn't... I keep calling him lurkers. Why that pouncer didn't strike at me, but he didn't. We'll take the generous gift from the RNG gods and just be happy we didn't take the damage. So once you have those 2 pouncers taken out, jump back up to the other side of this growth and jump down to the platform. Refill your stasis if you need it. And then we're going to stasis these 2 generators and use your kinesis to pull them into the main hub. Once that's done, you're going to end up having 2 more pouncers spawn. So again, dispatch them by shooting off their legs and waiting for them to die. Not much else to say about it. I do get very lucky there. I happen to move just in time to avoid that second pouncer's attack, and I had no idea he was there. That was blind dumb luck. I managed to freeze that pouncer mid-jump, grab a barrel, shoot him out of the air. Kind of an awesome moment. I felt pretty proud about it, so I went over to bask in the bloody glory. But after that moment of basking, it was time to get back to work. Now, we're going to continue. I thought that was a supply box. We're going to continue towards the control panel up on the catwalk. Once you activate this panel, the generator is going to start working. And you're going to be out of 0G. Gravity is going to be restored. I was trying to set myself up with an explosive barrel right there, but as you can see, the arm took it away from me, so no explosive barrel for me. You're going to run counter to the way that the arm is swinging to make it to your safe points. The first safe point has a necromorph drop in from the ceiling. Kill him, wait for the arm to go by, and then book it for the next safe area. I missed some credits there. I thought about going back, but I didn't. You can if you want. The second area has the oxygen resupply, so you can fill back up your oxygen and not run out of air. Wait for the arm to go by, and we're going to head to the third room. You can see a pouncer beats you there in a foot race. So once you get there, I hit him with a stasis blast because I didn't want him to hit me, and I wanted to be able to get in away from that arm because that arm kills you in one shot. I do a couple of melee attacks to save a little bit of ammo, see that he dropped some ammo himself, meaning he was dead. Now we're waiting for the arm to come back through. Once the arm goes through, you're going to head back onto the platform, running the opposite way the arm is swinging, get on the elevator, and backtrack out the door. When you head out the door, there is some ammo here. I don't know who dropped it. I don't know how it got there, but there's ammo that's there that wasn't there on the way through, so pick that up. Now, as you come through this door, you're going to get grabbed. I hate these parts of this game. Not because it's scary, but because your control scheme is different. You're at a different angle, so trying to hit that weak spot is very tough. I actually would recommend, if you're following my guide, to use the pulse rifle, as it has a higher rate of fire, and you can kind of use your bullets as trackers or tracers to see where you're aiming. I actually got really close to dying at this point. I think one more pull would have resulted in the kill animation. But once you're free of that clutch of that giant arm, continue to backtrack. We're heading back through the security room. You're going to see one necromorph in the window head to the left, and he's going to be waiting right in that hall for you. So be ready with your gun up, take him out, check him for any goodies. If he doesn't have anything, we're going to backtrack. I go to check the bench one more time because I have one more power node, and I decide to upgrade my plasma cutter. Now we're continuing to backtrack to the elevator, heading down to the main control hub where we started the game and where we killed the reanimator. You get a little bit of a cutscene right here, or I'm sorry, not a cutscene, but a communication and stop off at the store again, because why not? Let's empty out our inventory, leave room for more goodies that we can pick up and sell. Swap out what you have for health packs or whatever, just to, however you're comfortable with your inventory management, take the opportunity to do that. Buy yourself a couple more power nodes if you need it. Head out the other door, the only door we haven't gone through yet, and you're going to be in a 0G spacewalk situation. I get a little bit turned around right here and was just sort of exploring, so this is sort of nothing. I doubled back and ended up right back at my starting spot. Decided to come in here so my oxygen would refill, and now I'll continue around along my proper path. As you jump to this first platform, you're going to have a couple of jumpers appear. One, as you can see, comes out of the floor wall ceiling panel right there. I don't know what part of the ship that's supposed to be, but very slow, steady shots just to keep him stun locked, and eventually he will be picked apart. As you can see, he already lost an arm. As he jumped at me, I jumped the other way to maintain my distance. Since he has no ranged attack, might as well pick him off at a distance. Once you jump down here, however, you get attacked by a second jumper. So I use a little bit of stasis, managed to hit both of them with one blast to save a little bit of energy, and just continue to lay into them until they die. Nothing fancy, just getting the job done. Head through this door here as you exit the vacuum and the 0G area. You'll refill your air tank, and there is so much noise in here, it always jumps me because I don't know, I'm just not used to there being that much noise, so it's very unsettling. As you enter this area here with all of the growth on the wall, there is 2 rooms on every floor that you can check for supplies and goodies, lockers, power nodes, all sorts of good stuff that you can and should pick up as you advance before you go down to the next level. As you can see, I'm being very meticulous, checking each locker and the walls for any wall safes or anything on the floor. Sometimes it's a lot of loot, sometimes it's only one little med kit. Once you get to the 4th door, so the 2 up top, the first one on the 2nd floor down, and then the second one on the 2nd floor down, so the 4th door total, you're going to have a flipper swarm come out. So approach slowly and then pick them off one at a time. Go down to the bottom floor, you're going to find some more goodies, one box filled with flippers, so stomp that. And then head straight across and you're going to see our first door of the level that needs a power node to open. And once you get in here, oh my goodness, look at all this stuff. There are schematics, there is ammo, there are credits, there are med packs. It is just a beautiful mecca of useful goodies. So that right there is why we always keep a power node on us. I happen to have 3 right now, but you still always want to keep a power node on you. As we advance further, you're going to see this door is opening and closing erratically. Give it a moment and you'll see that it chops up a necromorph for you. Hit it with a stasis blast, head on through, pick up the ammo that the necromorph dropped when the door killed it. There we go. Grab that explosive tank, shoot it up the ramp as you're going to see flippers and a regular necromorph coming down at you. I didn't get very good luck with that shot, and a lot of the enemies ended up surviving. And I tried to get cute here and just stomp all of the flippers to death, and it worked, but that's a dangerous tactic because if the stasis runs out, they will jump on you and drain your health rapidly. Now, as you come up the ramp, you're going to see another explosive barrel. I like to take this one with me, carry it up this ramp. You can hit the save spot there if you want, but I was pretty confident in my ability to do this section without dying. Open the door, grab your explosive canister, and if you time this right, you can hit all 3 of these necromorphs. I somehow did not. In fact, it didn't even get their attention, so I might not have been in the room enough for them to register that I was there, for the game to register that I was there. But anyway, if that happens to you and you don't end up taking out even one of the necromorphs, aim for their legs just like we've been doing and drop them all before you start trying to finish them off. It'll slow them down, buy you time, and don't forget that you have stasis that you can use if you need to give yourself a little bit more breathing space. If you want to be quick and turn to your left, you can grab a supply box that is sitting on the ground behind this wall, this half wall, but be careful because a carrier form is going to be appearing. Now, these big guys, if you don't take out their arms and legs quickly, their bellies will rupture, releasing a flipper swarm, and we don't like that, so hit them with stasis and then just start picking off the limbs as quick as you can. You'll see that their stomachs or their abdomens rumble and ripple a little bit when they die. If you start seeing a lot of the bodies moving around after you kill one of those, that means that it's released the flipper swarm, so back up and start shooting to make sure you don't get overwhelmed. Once all 4 of these starting enemies in this room are dead, go all around this room and check everywhere, because there is so much in the way of credits, ammo, and just general goodies that you can grab in order to make your life easier. There's even a power node on that little wall by the ramp. I don't know if you saw that right there where I'm grabbing the explosive barrels from. Speaking of explosive barrels, grab 3 or 4 of them, bring them over to the objective, and drop them right in front, as we're about to start a horde-style battle, and these explosive barrels are going to really help to give us some breathing room and take out some enemies as they approach. The first one comes from the left side, and take out just a standard necromorph. I think he had leg armor, but that doesn't mean much when you're shooting explosive barrels at him. I did not see this guy coming from the right. I backed up, used the barrel to clean him out, and you've already taken out a good chunk of this entire horde. I back up into a corner here, and I forget that I can strafe to the right, but again, I end up not needing to because I'm able to just slow down my enemies using the stasis, pick out their legs, pick off their legs, and give myself enough breathing room to take them out before they get too close. I do start to panic a little bit because I see another enemy closing in on me, and I thought that I was cornered with nowhere to go. But if you just keep your cool, pick your shots, and always take their legs out first, you're going to do fine. They drop tons of ammo that you can pick up to sell. As you can see, I got a couple of fuel cells there for the flamethrower, which I'm not using, so that's just as good as credits in the bank, so to speak. Now, before I activate the objective, I actually run around and look for anything that may have dropped from the necromorphs that I blew up using the explosive tanks. As you can see, there was a med pack, a small med kit way out back here. But just do a quick walk around one more time to make sure you're not missing anything. Activate the control panel, and then we're going to double back on ourselves back towards the main entrance. So as we say goodbye to this room, we're going to head through not 1 but 2 sets of doors, then hang a left at the end of this hall to pick up a little bit more in the way of supplies. There's a wall safe and a supply box. Continue down the path here. It's very linear, can't really get lost. Take the door on your right, and you're going to find yourself back in the control room. There is one necromorph that decides to come lumbering down from this hallway, which is the path back to the tram station, or the tram that's waiting for you. Take him out with whatever means necessary, dispatch of him however you see fit, grab whatever he drops, and then head over to the store. You should have a couple of schematics to download, as well as plenty of ammo that you don't need that you can now sell for additional credits. I like to transfer out some of my small med packs and my medium med packs into the safe, just because I don't see it and find it necessary to have that many med packs on me. And again, just same thing we've been doing for the first couple of chapters. Sell off any ammo that doesn't go with the weapons that you're using, and use the extra credits to buy power nodes. You're going to see that actually, when I'm done at the store, I end up backtracking again and heading for a workbench so I can do some upgrades, because I couldn't remember when the first workbench was available in Chapter 4. So you're going to see I pull up my map here, kind of rotate it around and take a look at where that workbench is. Head through the door. This is the same door that we went through, the first door that we went through when we got into this chapter. If you remember, to the right of us right there is where the dead necromorph was. I'm going to hit this workbench up, do my upgrades. Again, because I wasn't sure how long I'd have to wait to get to the next workbench, I go for some more HP on my rig, and decide it's time to really upgrade the pulse rifle, so spend 2 on the pulse rifle for 1 damage slot, then decide to look at my plasma cutter, see what there's for options there. I can only have 1 node left to spend because I need to keep 1 in reserve for any supply rooms. Decide that capacity on the pulse rifle is a worthwhile investment. Make the upgrades, and now you'll see me backtrack all the way to the tram. That's it, guys. Once you get onto the tram, all you need to do is hit the switch, and you're going to be done with Chapter 3. Up next is Chapter 4. I hope you all found this guide helpful, and until next time, have a good day. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, please like and subscribe. You can also check us out on Twitch at Hammer Bros Gaming. I am Blades of God, and until next time, have a great day, everyone.